Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Talking Bullion. Well, I picked up some more constitutional silver today. Got another fantastic deal. And, it's all about timing because silver's already started to come back down again since I bought it. And it may be kind of weird from the time that I bought this to the time that I get the recording out because spot price is bouncing all over the place lately. So it all depends on where it's at and when I release the video. But at the time I bought this, spot was up pretty high. It jumped up quite a bit. Not just silver, but gold as well. So we'll take a look here in a second. But as you can see, I've got some halves. There's 3 rolls here. There's one hiding over here. And some dimes, some quarters. You can see here, there's some miscellaneous SLQ, a couple SLQs, some miscellaneous walking liberties as well. So this works out to $63. So why don't we go ahead and take a look. Alright, so let me get this open. Let me dump it out. And we will take a look at what we have here. Here's the quarters and those fine pill bottles that I get sometimes. Some dimes that says Roosevelt. So we got a couple of rosies this time around. Some halves. Alright, so you can see 10, 20, 30. You can see walking there. So I got some walkers in there too. There's $1, $2, and $3. That's why I said 63. And so we'll look at the quarters here in a minute. I don't usually get SLQs. It's pretty common look for them. Oh, but that one's pretty nice, huh? Look at that. That's probably the best SLQ I've ever gotten. Usually I receive them like this. And this one is pretty good. Just look at the back. Yeah, not bad at all. I like that one. I might have to put that in a flip and put it aside. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and get some of these halves opened. It said $3. I'll put the $3 back together. Alright, so we have Walker, and Franklin. So let's open up the Frankies first. Take a look at these. This is from my normal resource, but I think his resource has changed recently. Actually, I think he gets them from a few different people nowadays. And so they haven't been quite as good lately as they have been in the past, but I mean, these are looking pretty respectable for sure. So I'd check a few of the dates while I had them out. And I really don't check my constitutional silver for anything special. But these are looking pretty good. So nothing wrong with these at all. Actually a pretty good batch, I would say. Alright. Alright, so yeah, those look pretty good. So let's put this roll over here. Let's double stack it here so I don't knock them over. 51 and a 51. Alright, let's see what these walkers look like. Alright. That top one's a 1920. Pretty cool. 1920s really aren't that rare though. I got quite a few 1920s. I usually set them aside because they're pretty old coin, but they don't really pull any additional premiums or anything like you might think they would. Alright, so that's a nice roll of walkers for sure. Not bad at all. Let's split those up a little bit. And then let's open up this other roll of walkers. And then I'll tell you a little bit of a funny story that happened, and I have it on video. I'm just not sure my timing on my videos, if the videos come out yet. But as most of you know, I get this from the same resource all the time. And honestly, this guy has never shorted me once. And it was kind of weird the other day when I was opening up some rolls of halves. One of them was short. You know, I was really surprised. I went through, I counted my dimes and thought, you know, maybe he threw in a few extra dimes to make up for the lost quarter. Lost half. But I believe it was 3 rolls, maybe it was 5 rolls. Anyway, one of them only had 19 in it. And I went, well, that is really strange because this guy has never shorted me. In fact, one time he gave me one too many halves and I let him know and we took care of that. So, got done, sent him a text, and I said, hey, looks like I was short a half, no big deal. Next time we get together, we'll work it out. And, you know, that was that. So, when I picked up this stuff, first thing he did was he handed me a half and said, hey, sorry about that, don't know how that happened. I always count and double count my stuff, but, you know, I'm human too, and I must have missed it, and I really apologize. I'm like, hey, no problem at all. I totally trust you. And I know it's just an oversight. So anyway, went on with business. And here's the funny thing. I went to get back in my car, and I opened up my car door, and guess what was laying on the floorboard? A Walking Liberty $50. So here's the deal. Sometimes after I pick this stuff up, and I'm sitting at a traffic stop or in traffic, which we get stuck in a lot of traffic jams around where I live, I'll pop a couple of the rolls open, just kind of dump them in my hand and just check them out. And just because, you know, love the Constitutional and just want to take a quick peek at it. And that's what I did last time. And I remember that I dropped a couple while I was, you know, sitting in my car and, you know, fell between my legs. And I thought that there was 3 of them that dropped. And when I stopped my car, I picked them up and I found 3 of them and I threw them back in the tube. So what must have happened is I must have dropped a 4th one. And like I said, it was down on my floorboard by my feet. And for whatever reason, I didn't notice it here until like almost a week later where it was laying on my floorboard. It must have been the light caught it just right or something. So as this guy was driving away, I flagged him down. I said, hey, wait a minute. You just gave me this extra Walking Liberty to make up for the one that you shorted me. But guess what? You didn't short me after all. I dropped it on my floorboard and I just found it. So oops, sorry about that. Here you go. And I gave it back to him. He's like, oh, well, thanks for being honest, giving it back to me. I go, no, it's my fault. I dropped it on my floorboard and thought that you had shorted me, and I really apologize for that. So anyway, he's like, hey, you want to buy it off me? I go, sure, I'll give you $5. You know, I usually pay 10 times, so that would be $5. And so ended up with an extra Walking Liberty. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of a funny story because I actually dropped it because I couldn't keep my little hands off the Constitutional Silver on my way home. And then I didn't accuse him. I just sent him a quick little text saying, hey, I was short. And, you know, he believed me. And indeed, I thought I was because there was only 19 in there. And then, but we got it all taken care of. And again, we've got a great relationship. I've been buying off this guy for over a year. So anyway, so just if you're handling your stuff, just make sure it gets back in the package. I guess that's the moral of that story. All right, so we're moving on. So we have $10, $20, $30. We have a roll of Franklins and 2 Walkers. Then over here, we have another $2.50. So we have $32.50 so far. It'll end up being 33 because of these. All right, so let's put these up here maybe. So it's nice to have 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 Walking Liberties. All right, let's take a look at these quartas. Boy, those look good from the side, don't they? Drop them down here. Let's put those SLQs aside for a minute. Oh yeah, got ourselves some nice quarters. Oh, those look good. I like them. 1945, pretty good shape. 62. See a 56, couple 56s poking out down there. Let's take a look at those. 1956. Pretty cool, pretty good shape. Adorable, I say. 1942. All right, so yeah, got some nice quarters there. Love the sound. This one's a little frosty looking. 1964. There's 40 quarters. And let's open up this other one here. Take a look at the edges. Pretty nice. Drop them down. Oh yeah, boy, I love the quarters. I don't know how many of you watch Daniel from Coin Help You. He had a video on recently about why dealers melt coins, and it was pretty sad to hear how common it is. I mean, I think this stuff is rarer than we really think, and I think if we knew how rare it is, it'd cost a lot more. But this stuff is being melted literally every day, and he talked about why coin dealers will have them melted instead of trying to sell them with all that it takes to sell, how long they have to hold on to them, spot price jumping up and down. I mean, he clearly did a great justification as to why he would send them away to be melted, but you know, constitutional stackers like me don't want them to be melted. It's like, hey, we'll take them off your hands. But yeah, I think there's I think that a lot of this has been melted. And there's some stories about you know, some other situations decades ago that caused it to a lot of it to be melted as well. In fact, I'm planning on doing a video about that because I came across some really interesting information. But anyway, I don't want this stuff to be melted. I love this good old American history here. This is a tube of Roosevelts. Let's take a look. The Roosevelts are generally in pretty good condition. They can have some wear on them because they were definitely in circulation for a while. Okay, there's one. And let's take a look at this last row here. Alright. If I can get it open, I'm having a hard time. Tear it a little bit here because I'm not saving these. Dump them out. Make sure they're all out of there. Those dimes like to hide inside there. Ooh, look at those. Ooh, yeah. Alright. So let's count it up. We have, adjust my camera a little bit, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 2 rolls of dimes, that's $10. 62.50 because there's 5 there, 250, and 50 cents is 63. So we have $63 face. Alright. So I just messed that all up pretty good, didn't I? Need to take my thumbnail. And now I don't have it on the screen anymore. Looks like a little comet. Spread this out a little bit. Alright. Get these Franklins on top for the picture, where Frankie can smile pretty, maybe give me a Bugs Bunny teeth look. Alright. So that one's got some toning on it, 1945. I'm going to put it down, doesn't look good for a picture. Oh, maybe it does. People like that toning. I know I like toning. Means it's real silver. Hopefully. Alright, I could try turning down my camera a little bit, but I've noticed I've been going a little dark on my videos lately, so that's too far. Alright, it's not bad. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and do some math here, see what we have. So we have $63 face. So to figure out how much silver we have here, we're going to multiply by 0.715. And so in this pile, this whole pile over here, all this stuff, we have 45 ounces. And 45.045 to be exact. Alright, 45 ounces. So let's talk about what I paid for it. So because it was $63 face, paying 10 times, so that's $630. We're going to divide that by 45.045, the amount of silver in there. That works out to $13.99 per ounce. So $13.99 per ounce. Isn't that a fantastic deal? Just below $14. And what was spot today when I bought it? Well, I always look when the guy contacts me to see what spot is at that point in time because it'll fluctuate throughout the day. And I did end up dropping a little bit later in the day. But the time I purchased this, spot was $18.99. And I get those numbers off of JM Bullion. I know there's Kitco and AppMax. There's a lot of places you can get it. But because JM Bullion has an app, I just pull up the app and look there. So $18.99 when I purchased this. So let's do that math. I paid $13.99. So if we do 18.99 and we minus 13.99, it's going to be a beautiful number. Got this for $5 below spot. If we were to multiply that by the 45.045, the amount of silver, the amount of ounces here, we saved $225.23 if we would have paid just spot for it. So if we would have paid spot, we would have had to pay another $225 plus. So wow, what a fantastic deal, huh? So let's see what that works out to. So let's do 18.99, which is what spot was at, times 45.045. So yeah, if we would have paid spot, we should have paid $855.40. First of all, it's incredible that a pile of silver like that can cost you almost $900. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, but still, it's amazing. Who would have thought people living back in the 50s and 60s that their change would have been worth so much money just to, well, it's more than a few decades, several decades later. It's pretty incredible, huh? The value of this stuff. And people love it. I love it. A lot of people do. I think this is very, very important to have as part of your stack. It can be used for a variety of situations, including just reselling. You know, if I wanted to sell this right now for $1 or $200, just if I sold it for $1 or $200 spot, I think I could sell it probably immediately and still make a nice profit off it. And I get a lot of people on my live streams and various people offering to, you know, buy it off of me for a good price. So if it was available, I would certainly be willing to sell it. But right now, it's not available. Right now, we're just hanging on to it. We're going to see what happens in the future, see where it leads us. But it's definitely a great thing to be getting for such a great deal. And I think you would all agree. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And always remember, let's keep talking bullion.